Hi, Janine. Welcome back.
Thank you. Hi, Ian.
How's your week been?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful. Yes.
Anything notable to mention?
No, just some exchanges between people that were lovely
Yeah.
and felt good. And they were not about me, they were about other people. But I was witness to it and it was nice.
Oh, can you elaborate, or is it?
Sure. I'm working on my ADU, which I think we've talked about. And an engineer came that I've worked with before to work with Mariano on some extra permits and things that we need, and they had not met each other before, and they started working together, and I could hear them talking, and it was all very pleasant and all that. And later, when the engineer left, his name is Gonzalo, he left, and Mariano came upstairs to talk with me, and he said, you know, Janine, he liked my work so much, he asked if we could work together. And so not only it made me feel good that the work being done on my house was really nice and well done, but that they made a connection, and Mariano gets more and better work as time goes on.
I think there's a term called super connector in the business community where people identify that they're very good at connecting good people, and I guess that's what you've done.
Yes, without my knowledge. I mean, that was not my intent.
Well, I mean, it talks about your eye for quality.
Yeah, I guess, thank you. But it just made me feel wonderful, and I know that Mariano was more than pleased. He had the grin from ear to ear.
Oh, cool. So it means more business, more
for him,
more
and
work.
more regular work, yes.
Amazing.
Yes, he told me yesterday that he's going to work 8 more years, and then he's going to retire. He looks like he's 20.
Yeah.
And he's going to retire and move back, most likely, to Mexico.
Wonderful.
Nice for him, not so nice for me, but
yeah.
I will miss him.
Yeah, 100. Well, you better get your work done now before he disappears.
Right.
You were also saying this week that as much as there's the good stuff, you've also identified that some of your friends, maybe there's an opportunity for more space.
Yes, the older I get, or the more involved I get with thinking about who I am and what I want in my life and what's important and not important, what comes into play is my friends. Not only my family, but my friends. And one of them who, I don't want to say one negative thing about her, but she does not, how do I say this, enhance our friendship or my feeling of worth or anything like that. She has a lot of medical issues, and I certainly understand that, but I do know, and you know too, that if you keep talking about it, they're not going to get any better. You have to take action.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about, this person, and it sounds like they identify as their sickness.
Yes.
So they've taken it on as like, this is who I am, and it's never ending. Is that correct?
That's correct. And how many times can you say, how do you feel today, and say something creative and helpful?
Yeah.
You kind of run out quickly, and it doesn't enhance anything in my life. If she said, I feel better today, that does it for me, and I go, great.
Even if she may not actually feel
yeah,
better.
she will feel better if she says that.
True. And I've seen this with you.
Yeah,
you have a determination to your own well-being, and then I see it manifest. This week you've been incredible.
I am better.
Why is that?
Well, one is I'm exercising more and walking more, and of course the key to anything is walking, drinking water, watching your diet, having positive thoughts. At any rate, when I walked, I have 50 steps, which I've mentioned before, and of course anybody with a brain in their head would not live in a house with 50 steps to the street. But every time I come out, I say to myself, I am going to walk down these steps with grace and elegance. I never bring up anything negative, because we know what that does to somebody.
It sounds like that friendship is somewhat of a drain on you energetically.
Yes, and I'm not sure how to change it if I say something.
Do you think you should change it? Or, I mean, that's a question for every human, is do you try and change others?
No, I'm not going to do that, no.
What do you think is your path forward?
I think I'll just keep the good stuff in the friendship. She's done some incredible things helping me with Tamara, who is over in a care facility, and distance myself a little bit from other things.
What do you think you'll fill that extra space in your calendar with?
More exercise.
Good.
Because I've gotten kind of interested in more exercise, which reminds me, I heard from my old trainer, and I want you to help me, if you would, compose a reply to him.
Yeah, of course.
He's the one who fixed my rotator cuff when I was ready to have shots done by my doctor. He said, absolutely not, come into the gym, I'm going to fix this. And 2 months later, I had full usage of my shoulder.
Full mobility. Yeah, I believe that same thing is that if you look to the right people who are not held in metaphorical handcuffs by the system they work for, what they're allowed to say or what they're not allowed to say, frequently they won't look to more natural methodology because they've spent, anywhere from half a decade to more than a decade through an academic system in order to become what they've become. And then when that system now holds them ransom, saying you can only prescribe, pharmaceuticals, then you've got that philosophical quandary of, do I help people with what works, or do I do what I'm supposed to do? And I've seen that a lot through this last half a decade COVID era.
Yeah. That certainly brought it to the forefront.
Yeah. And I believe as well, there's very little that the human body can't heal from if it's given the right conditions. And I think more and more people are starting to see that.
Yeah.
And Instagram's full of more people promoting that. So
yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. So if anyone's listening to this and you want to find it for yourself, the algorithm is pretty good at giving you more of what you're looking at. So if this is interesting to you, I'm not going to share it directly, but I'll say just start looking into those natural remedies, and you'd be really surprised what we're finding at this point in history.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to getting in touch. His name is Chad. And maybe you can help me draft an email to him that will be interesting to him.
Well, I think Christian spoke to him, your friend Christian. He said that Chad might even be interested in maybe even some sort of investment of time and exchange of energy, because we can absolutely promote him for those who are in the Los Angeles area.
I just have to do it.
Well, that's the exchange. I mean, what he would probably ask is, I will do it if you commit. And that's going to be the big question for you, is can you commit? Because sometimes when you really do deep physical training, it's a lot more than you realize until you're actually doing it.
Right.
But once you're doing it, if you can get through that hard feel the burn moment, on the other side, you always feel incredible. The human body, when it starts repairing and growing through muscle growth,
I know I'll feel better.
Yeah.
And I know it's going to be painful.
Well, you can rebrand pain just by how you talk about it, how you think about it. It can be challenging. You could say it's challenging, but I'm up for the challenge.
I am up for it.
Yeah.
Walking well and strong is so appealing to me, I could weep.
Yeah. And there's those videos that we put it into one of our YouTube videos, those elderly people who literally started to bounce back and started to look younger because they did all of this. So it'd be amazing to see you go through the same thing. And if he repaired your rotator cuff, there's no reason why your hip can't get better as well.
Right. Well, I believe in the brain's elasticity, and if I work at it long enough and hard enough, the brain is going to say, okay, I'll do this.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, the body listens.
Remember those two books we read?
Do you mean Dr. Norman Doidge, The Brain That Changes Itself?
Yes.
So I'll put that in the show notes. It's a book called The Brain That Changes Itself by Dr. Norman Doidge.
That's a good one.
It's an entire, how do you say it, a history on the entire realm of neuroscience, but it really is written for the layman, so it's not overly medical. And what it does is it really wakes you up to the fact that you are absolutely capable of anything you set your mind to.
That's right. Which is a little frightening all by itself.
Yeah, only if you're stuck in the mud. It's good to get out of the mud.
Yes, right. So I'm looking forward to working with Chad. He's a really pleasant human being.
And he's based in Hollywood, or?
I think he lives in Malibu.
Malibu, okay.
And a lot of his clients are out that way.
Oh, okay.
But he's very entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
And of course he looks sort of like you. He's a lot of muscle and lean and no extra fat, and all that. And he's a wonderful human being.
Now, is there anything else you're going through this week? Because I know I've had a big week when it comes to epiphanies, but I imagine you've probably had the same.
I have. I realize that I still carry some negative thoughts, feelings about people.
Right.
And I examined why I did, because it has... The person is the other person is the other person, and I have no control over that. And so it's how I feel about it and what in my past allows me to feel that way about the person. So I've been working on that. And, the human mind is an amazing piece of equipment. You think, oh, my gosh. Oh, really, Janine? Really? You think this was your mother? Your father? Your sister?
Yeah.
Whatever. So I've been working with that, and it's been successful. I'm feeling lighthearted and forgiving.
Good. What are the takeaways when you think about feeling negatively about other people? Are these people that are current in your life or historical?
Current.
Okay, and do you feel like you're identifying why you feel the way you feel, and is it the person or is it past history and trauma?
I think it's, for me, past history.
Right.
A rather difficult childhood.
Right.
And so a lot of that stuff comes up. But I'm trying to think of fun things about my childhood too. You know, my mother was different from other mothers. And one of the things that came up this week was she used to dance around the kitchen, I mean, like a whirling dervish, saying, "I'm a Russian princess, I'm a Russian princess." And I used to be so embarrassed. Now I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Now it's cool.
I love
And
that.
she could have been bipolar for all I know. Back then, you know, in the 50s, we really didn't talk about bipolar and any of those things. But she was interesting. She was not like other mothers, let me tell you.
Yeah. I actually saw a dad and his daughter today, and that girl was maybe 10, 11 years old, and you could see that her dad was kind of like that guy. He was that guy in her life where she's like, that's my dad, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't help but think, like, so many kids, they hit that teen years and then they're like, "Oh, shut up, Dad, you don't know what you're talking about." Like, they push the parents away. But then later on, and like, he was a cool looking guy, he had like a Ramones shirt on, and earlier today I'd seen a girl wearing, you know, she's maybe 20 years old, and she's wearing Metallica. She was post Metallica in her life, but she's wearing a Metallica shirt, and it made me think maybe her dad liked Metallica.
Maybe so, yeah.
And you can't help but think, like, there's that period of life where people push away their parents only to review them later on and go, "Oh wow, they actually knew what they were talking about."
Yeah, yeah.
You know, they may have had some semblance of coolness that I just couldn't see because I needed to be independent.
Well, and it makes me realize that why my parents probably stayed together. Because as I grew up, I thought, why do they stay together? They don't seem to, you know, it just, why?
Yeah.
And now as I'm older and I'm thinking back about those particular incidents, and there must have been lots of them that I'm just not remembered, that he must have been fascinated with her.
Yeah, yeah, I get that.
So good for him.
Yeah. So coming
Married
back
to a Russian princess.
I notice we take these tangents, and I've noticed that when we take these tangents, it's because what we're talking about is somewhat uncomfortable for you.
A little,
So
yeah.
now we're talking about your parents when I was actually talking about your friends.
Yeah, right.
So if we could bring it back to that, what is it that you think, even if it's from your history, what do you think it's showing you? Is it mirroring things that have been difficult in the past? Why is it creating that dislike or that negative charge in the relationship?
Well, I think, when I think back, many times now I realize I was kind of a caregiver to my mother. And that's what happened here with this woman. And she has so many good qualities that I'm just going to concentrate on those and just forget about the other things. She is who she is. She does what she does. She does good stuff. Let me tell you, she does really good stuff in her life. A lot of charity work. So it's just that it's when I'm with her, it's not a creative experience. Like when we talk about the books we've read, the thoughts we've had, and dissecting them, and, you know, stripping away all the stuff. It's not like that with her. But one of the things I've noticed as I've gotten older and I've gotten more into this, looking at who I am, that my old friends are beginning to kind of fade away as I'm adding new ones.
Well, you're becoming new.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
the new magnet can't attract the old charge, so to speak.
It's exciting and a little scary.
Well, I think what I've learned, there's a guy named Brad Sugars. I read his books 20 plus years ago. He was I think from Brisbane, like my hometown. But he talked about how humans, if we only realize that fear and excitement are perceivably the same exact sensation in the body. So as I hear you say it's scary, I actually think, well, actually it's probably exciting if you choose it.
I think I recently read somebody that paraphrased that.
Yeah.
And that certainly is true for me.
Yeah, I think he was the first person I read it by, but I don't know if it was actually his, and it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, the teacher's not as important as the message.
No, right. So I'm not going to give up on this friend. I'll just see her in a different light, accepting her for the good things that enhance how I feel about her and about life. And
now bringing it back to you, because I can see it's uncomfortable still.
Yeah.
How are you changed through this meditation of observing all of these things that are happening inside you?
Sometimes it feels lonely because I have less people to see and talk to and complain to, I guess you might say. On the other hand, it's thrilling because I know it's growth.
Yeah.
And I look forward to, and I say to myself, Janine, you could use one more friend. But, you know, Christian, my ex-partner in the accounting firm, and I have become closer, which is really nice. He's a quality human being, and he is on his journey, which is similar to mine in that he is exploring everything in his life.
Yeah.
And he does it with great joy, and so he's nice to be around.
And I will say, in fairness, very shortly, you're going to have all of these new, young, muscle-bound gangsters down at the CrossFit gym that you're going to be working out at Malibu. So I'm sure Chad's going to connect you with a new community as well.
Well, yeah.
So, the thing I've learned in life is you create space, opportunity comes to fill it.
It does.
And it's a very exciting place, as much as it can be perceived as fear. It's exciting to say, oh shit, now I have all of this space. But then when the things come and they offer themselves to you, you've really got an opportunity to decide whether or not you go through that. And we're talking before about whether people are draining you or lifting you up, and it was like you were describing, when we hang out, we're both igniting each other's energy, and we leave feeling good. I received a phone call today from somebody who, every time they call, it's always an ask. And if it's not an ask directly, you can tell that the reason that they want to hang out is so the ask can come in a week from now.
Yeah.
So it's this form of friendship that feels more like it's like a parasitic networking type of thing, where you know that the phone call is going to accompany a ask.
An ask.
Yeah. So it's been one of those things that I'm now really sitting with myself, where I think, does hanging out with this person leave me and them feeling uplifted? Because if they leave feeling less than, then I've failed. If I leave feeling less than, then I've also failed.
Right.
Because they may not be the right person.
Yeah.
So it's always for me to choose, okay, well, who am I hanging out with where we light each other's fires?
Right.
Because I'm at a point where I don't want to be holding anyone up, like you said about caregiving. And I don't want to be feeling crap. When you walk away from a conversation and you're thinking about it and what you should have said, that's so toxic.
Well, you remember my friend Sharon. You met her just briefly once.
Yeah, she was amazing.
Every time I left her, I felt like I'd been on a week's vacation.
Yeah.
And that's what good friendship should feel like to me.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to find.
Well, I'm just going to challenge you on that very clear affirmation that you just stated to the universe, where you just said, it's really hard to find. The universe is absolutely going to listen to you on that one if you believe that it's true. So for me, I don't think it's hard to find. I just feel like it's a process of honoring your own boundaries.
Yeah.
But you've also got to get out there. And I
That's true.
think that's what we're doing with this podcast and with this YouTube channel. So for the audience, if you don't know and you found this podcast, this is actually the accompaniment to our main channel, which is on YouTube. And the channel is at Never Say Die, the channel. All spelled out, no spaces. It's the same for Instagram. So if you want to connect with us, shoot us a message on Instagram, give us a follow there, or watch our videos on YouTube. What do you think's on for the rest of your week, Janine?
Exciting. Well, one is we're going out to film.
Yes, we don't want to tell them. You kind of let that slip just there.
No, I didn't say it.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, we're going out filming on Wednesday.
We are going out filming.
And
yes.
What's tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning is Sunday.
There an auto show?
That's right. We're doing the British Auto Car Show.
Oh, that'll be exciting.
In Griffith Park.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, and
Old Triumphs, maybe?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I had one of those.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, the
TR3.
3, wonderful.
3A.
There you go. Not a 3B.
No, 3A.
Was there a 3B?
I don't think so. Okay. Not that I'm aware of. I even changed spark plugs on that car.
Oh, there you go. See?
It was an 8-cylinder car, and when you turned the key on the ignition, it would roar like an African lion.
Wow, nice.
I loved it.
Amazing.
And I'd start it up in the garage so it would sound even louder.
Amazing. Did it fart like an African hippo?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
All right. Well, it's been great hanging out and chatting with you as always.
This has been 20 minutes already.
I know. Time flies when you're having fun.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
All right, Janine. Well, I'll see you again on the next one.
Soon, I hope.
Yes, very soon. Every week.
Okay.
Right, bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Never Say Die podcast. If you like what you hear, then consider following our main channel on YouTube, where we share all our adventures. You can find our social channels in our bio, and don't forget to subscribe so you can keep up with our episodes as they drop. Thanks again. We'll see you on the next one.